All right, birthday Howard, birthday Howard Shai, birthday Howard, birthday Howard Shai, How Fly Yahweh Bashin Howard Shai, Bashin Howard Kakadash. Double honor to the elder apostle, a great milton who will sincere citation of action and personal truth across the four corners of the earth to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashin Howard Shai at the hope of elect. And citation to the Israelite foreigner that is scattered among all the nations throughout the four corners of the earth that believe in the name of Yahweh by his son Yahweh Shai. And shalom to the sister and family that are tuning into this gospel that preached around the whole world. Peace and mercy unto you, and who the world inwardly called God, his name is Yahweh. And who the world inwardly called Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai. And we the Hebrew Israelite that consists of you so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, and those who line descendants that go back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel due to the scattering. Now, this is going to be an in-depth on Luke 19:43. About to drip it out. A couple days ago, doing Operation Warp Speed and martial law and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do an in-depth on the word Trent. Okay. Now this is Luke 19:43. For the day shall come upon thee that thy enemy shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every thought. So that link up with Revelation, where it say that Esau shall come down with great wrath, come in like a flood. Okay, yeah, let me just get it. I don't want to misquote it. This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heaven, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitant of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, like the so-called white man, all right, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. All right, so he know he has but a short time. It's Isaiah 59:19. Those shall they fear the name of the Lord, Jehovah Shai, from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, which is the east. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, all right, that's the part I want. The spirit of the Lord, Jehovah Shai, shall lift up a standard against him. All right, spiritual power and stuff, all right. But the point I wanted to get is when the enemy shall come in like a flood, because Esau's going to come in like a flood with that great wrath. All right, now let's go back to 1943. Read it again. For the day shall come upon thee that thy enemy shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every thought. I look at the word trench, okay? It's the Greek word for trench. Where we at? That's the Greek word.
Strong's G 5482. Charax. Charax.
Kara. The appel or state, a palisade or rampart. All right. It's the appel between which earth, stone, tree, and timber or heap and track together. Down here in the throne, the estate, and advanced by implication, a palisade or rampart. Military noun for circumvallation, and a deep trench. All right, now we're gonna look up these words. A palisade. A fence. It's Instead, a fence, a wooden stake, or iron railing fixed in the ground, forming an enclosure or defense. Okay. Now you look at the word rampart. A defensive wall. Alright. So you Google the palisade, that's what it is. Okay. Let's see if I can get a close up. See how it's pointed in the chart? So what is this likened to? So you go to it's the range, okay? I want to get the art by this shit. So it looked like a palisade. See how it resembled a state palisade? The Operation Warp Speed, the vaccination, then ultimately the tripping of the people, which is in Revelation 13. They're gonna come down. Ultimately they want to trip everybody. All right, the vaccination gonna lead to the tripping. Okay, so that's that trench. They're gonna come. Let's read it again. Luke 19:43, but the day shall come upon thee that thy enemy shall cast a trench about thee and compact thee round and keep thee in on every side. They got to lock this plate down. They got to make it mandatory for you to get the vaccination shot and then the RFID chip with the mark of the beast. Okay, now when you go to the root word for karat, it's them karatos, to sharpen to a point through the idea of abstraction. Gotta go to the root word. Probably went to the wrong. Shut up. Block it. Trent. Okay, now you go to the idea of abstraction, right? To sharpen to a point. Okay, you got that right. Now go to Revelation 13. This is Revelation 13 and 15. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Alright, now you look at the word mark. Charagma, okay. A stamp, a print mark. It's the Charisma of the Throne. It's the Extract or Etching stone. When you look at the word Karak, it's almost the same idea. An example of stamps, engraving or mark. Okay? So all this is gonna come together. Alright, so the RFID chip, they get a or etching. It looks like a better word for it. Engraving, a print produced by the process of etching. Okay. Now you go down to verb, engraved metal, glass, or stone by coating it with a protective layer, drawing it with a needle. They use a needle to etch something. So what they can do, they can use a needle to etch into your skin. Alright, to cut or carve. You're gonna cut into your skin. Alright, let's go back to the scripture. Alright, so she was marking her right hand or forehead. Alright, by chipping you with the wrench, with the RFID chip. Got Trent, alright, they're gonna, what they've been saying in the media, in the article, after the so-called the Black, Latino, and Native Americans. Alright, they're coming after you, Jake. This is verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to buy or sell unless you have that mark, right? RFID chip with the mark of the beast. Verse 18, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 squares and 6. Now let's get this. Tritheistigma, okay. What is the stigma? It's shame. But let's go here. That's what it is in the Greek, okay? So tritheistigma, we break it down in the Greek, okay? Now we go back to, so I remember how it is mapped out. That's what it was, all right? Now you click on the etymology for charisma, it's karak, all right? A pale or thick or palisade. So that's that mark, all right? They're gonna use that mark by chipping you by way of like the wrench. All right, that's gonna be the palisade or stake that they're gonna come down with. Okay, it's easy to see the correlation. All right, with the Operation Warp Speed, with the tripping of the people, the vaccination can lead to the tripping of the people, the RFID shit, the time of Jacob Trable, the hour of temptation. Okay, and that's what Esau want to do. Okay, and they're gonna use who? The military, the army to carry out the vaccination. All right, they're coming to your Jake neighborhood, and they're gonna shut it down where you can't leave, and they're gonna chip you, force you, mandatory. Okay. Now I'll go back to the Luke 1943 again. All right. Now we go to the cross reference. Never mind on that. But yes, that's the meaning of the word Trent. All right, we look into it. And like I said, this is an in-depth episode going into the word Trent in Luke 1943. All right, and they're gonna come down and they're gonna trip you. All right, well, they're gonna lead up. It's not gonna be initially tripped, but these vaccination shots gonna lead up to the tripping of the people. Okay. Yeah. So with that, shalom.